Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you another replay commentary. I did want this to be a live gameplay, but you'll see why this wasn't as we continue through the game. Basically, this is a 3 versus 3 on Colombelles, and today I'm going to be using the SS-Panzer division to take on 3 armoured divisions of the US. So, yeah. Going to be pretty crazy. So basically what happened, I'll just go through it at the start of the game. Both of my teammates ended up losing, and I ended up fighting a 1 versus 3. And I was like busy doing like a live cast whilst I was playing. And it got to the point where both of my teammates lost, and I was like, I really need to concentrate. So I stopped the recording, and I was just like, let's try and actually win this. And so I tried my hardest, and it turned out to be an absolutely superb game. Went down to the last minute. And yeah, it was so much fun. So let's just put this to my point of view, and we will start to look at what our team has set up at the start of the game. So in the middle we have Rimnir. Rimnir was apparently pretty new to the game, didn't know exactly what he was doing. We had over on the left side, we have Synthesis, who was using the 91st Luftlander. And so was Rimnir actually. So they've all got their Fallschirmjäger and so on. They've got some recon, really nice sort of like AT pack gun on the left side. That's going to be very, very useful. Pack gun in the center as well. Rimnir is going to be making use of the Panzer 35R, and people keep asking me if this is a French tank. It most certainly is. It's a captured Renault 35, so French-made tank used by the Germans as a light tank. So that's just there to support all of this infantry in the center. And then over on the right side, I'm just going to be going for this town with my assortment of half tracks. I was trying to work out exactly how I wanted to place my forces at the start. I was thinking about bringing in the Bow Firefly, but then I sort of thought against that. I just went for an APC composition. So I've got APCs with the Panzer Grenadiers. I've got the SP or SD KFZ 259, sorry, and then a couple of Kubels with the command infantry. I also have a Kubel with a AT gun. That was basically to replace the Bow Firefly. Because the reason you have the Firefly at the start of the game is just to take care of any armoured units. And then of course I have a mortar. That's just going to be there to provide fire support onto any pesky AT guns and also enemy infantry. So off we go at the start of the game. I had already set up all my orders, so off go all of my troops. In the center, Rimnir's taking his sweet time to get going. And over on the left side, it looks like some normal orders being used as opposed to sort of fast move. But a lot of these trucks are moving across the open here at the moment, as opposed to using the roads, which is going to make them take quite a while longer. So either way, over on this right side, I'm making plenty of ground. I really want to contest this town properly. What I was going to do with all of my infantry is deploy it into the edge of the town and then house hop forwards and then hopefully take out their APCs. So because they're third armoured, they do get the half tracks, and well, that's why I brought these SDKFZs instead of my Bow Firefly, because they can dispatch those half tracks very, very quickly. I've unloaded all my infantry here. Just going to space them out, start sending them forwards. I've got a couple of these command infantry which are going to buff up my own Panzer Grenadiers, as you can see in the center. Rimnir does leave the game, which does leave the his forces actually in the hands of Synthesis. So Synthesis all of a sudden has to deal with all of these forces in the center. Meanwhile, over on the right side, I'm still concentrating on what I'm doing. Telling a unit of Panzer Grenadiers fall back there. Going to bring across my APCs in order to start mowing down these armed rifles. I'm going to also bring across the APCs with the autocannons, and they're going to side shot the M5A1 Stuart there. Get rid of that very, very quickly with that autocannon. We're going to take out another half track there as well, and these things just chew up half tracks. It's absolutely brilliant. There goes another one. We're going to be trying to get the ones on the left side now. Friendly BF-109 is flying about. Hasn't decided to attack anything just yet, but as I continue to move all these half-tracks across, you can see they start to pin down the enemy in these houses, whilst my Panzer Grenadiers open up. As soon as the autocannons get on target, you can see they do manage to destroy these units, which is very, very awesome. We are being pushed hard in the centre at the moment because Rimner didn't really spread out his forces very well. But that's okay, as long as Synthesis isn't having too much trouble controlling these, we should be okay. And we can always bring this back later in the game. Like the centre is probably the easiest part for the SS-Panzer to bring back at towards the end of the game, because once you get phase C, you get Panthers, and then it all goes downhill from there for the enemy. By the way, pinning down these arm rifles and with all of the fire support from the MG34s, they're not going to last too long. We are now forced to fall back with these autocannon APCs, but I'm just going to keep pushing forwards in the town at the same time, using these half-tracks to help us out. Now basically what I was doing with all of these half-tracks was just basically giving them attack move orders left to right, so that they do find line of sight onto the enemy troops. As you can see, as they move across, again finding line of sight now onto these arm rifles, and that will definitely help the Panzer Grenadiers win that fight. So in the centre, all of Rimnir's troops being pinned down and killed off by the surrounding M4A1. They've got the M3 like half tracks and so on. Yeah, just not doing too well with all of those troops in the centre at the moment, losing so many of those men. So Synthesis is yeah, struggling a little bit. And well, with that he surrenders, and it's finally come down to a 1 versus 3. So over on my right side I'm actually doing pretty well. I've managed to get over halfway through this town, but in the centre, just look at it, it's a disaster. All of our troops are dying, and all that are left here are 2 Fallschirmjäger squads. Now you've got to watch these Fallschirmjäger squads for the rest of the game, because they were absolutely superb. I don't know what I would have done without them, but having 2 players leave on my team flooded me with points. And as you can see, I'm going to start to bring in bow fireflies. So I've got 1 on the left, and I think I brought over 1 on the right side as well. Yes, I have 1 already here. That's going to help me clean up more of these APCs, and also destroy any tanks that I come across, because there is an M4A1 on this right side. My APCs are still helping me move on through this town, still jumping from house to house, killing off these arm rifles, trying to get a full presence on the right side. My idea was that if I could control this town, I could basically forget about the right side, focus on the centre and on the left. So on the left side, I basically, as soon as I got control of Synthesis' forces, I basically put them all into cover where they weren't. Which gives them you know, that nice defensive bonus, and then I can care less about what they're actually doing. And then I just decided to bring up these tanks and so on, and I give them like attack moves or orders to take care of these APCs that are really getting deep into my lines. Now I brought up 2 battle groups. One of them was over on this right side. It's a Panzer II supporting 2 half tracks, and that's just going to push up on the right side here. And then I'm going to bring up 2 half tracks on the left side with this bow firefly to push up here. That was the plan. As you can see, my second Panzer II coming in there with 2 more half tracks as well. And these little like groups are really good for taking out those APCs and infantry, because obviously you can take out the APCs very quickly, the half tracks with the Panzer II, and then you can take out the infantry that's left over with the half tracks. Now throughout the game my opponent did make good use of these anti-tank weapons, so I did have to be careful about that. My bow firefly under fire here. I'm going to make sure that I retreat him, because it looks like he was going for a side shot as well from the M4A1. I did not want that to happen. I do not want a Sherman to get a side shot into that. Over here you can see my firefly engaging another one of those M4A1s. Just trying to get that ammo explosion, and there we go. Goodbye to that tank. So this gives the Firefly the ability to now help with these APCs. and I'm going to unload my Panzergrenades and get them to start running towards the factory here. Over on this left side, I'm taking a lot of damage. M4A1 and an M5A1 pushing onto my Panzer 35, which is not going to last very long in that engagement, and as you can see, an ammo explosion there causes that to die. So take out another tank here. That is an M5A1 getting shot by my Firefly. Panzer Grenadiers still going to continue towards the factory, supported by their half-tracks in the centre. We got the small group moving up, my little task force on the left side here, pushing towards this 50 cal Jeep. Over here I'm pushing the half-tracks and the infantry towards this 57mm gun. I'm also trying to mortar it as well with this half-track mortar. Over on this left side, the M3HT gets destroyed by my Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer 35 over here is trying to get rid of these arm rifles for us, which are being spotted by the Aufklärer. Now my Firefly going for another half-track kill. So we just need to get rid of this Jeep, 50 cal now. I'm just trying to get my APCs onto that. And if we can pin that down and make it fall back, or even just destroy it, then we get all of this land back. And as you can see, I've taken it back to 50% on each side, which is great. Made plenty of progress back in this game. Basically swept up all of the units that were behind my lines, and now I have a really nice front line going on with all of these little task forces, which are basically attack moving forwards at the moment. So the only way that I could really make this work was by really trying to make use of cost-efficient units. So I made up these little task groups and just gave them attack move orders forwards in order to maintain the front line. And you can see that it is working here. So I've got the half-tracks moving forwards across the open. They're supporting the infantry that's following up. And then there's also a Panzer II to kill the half-tracks. Furthermore, I also had this Pak 38 here that was covering as well. Really good position that is for destroying anything that comes out in the open on this left side. I also have, of course, still have the bow Firefly, which is picking off half-tracks all over the place, and some tanks as well. Phase B is finally here, and this gives me access to Panthers, so I'm going to be start to bring in Panthers on this left side to start dealing with the M4A1 and the M5A1. Also bringing in another couple of task forces, a couple of half-tracks here with Panzer Grenadiers and the command infantry, and these guys are all going to assault the factory. My Firefly is still moving up. I've got the half-track here pinning down the 57mm flat gun, or the AA gun, sorry, AT gun even. Get it right eventually. Another 30 cal Jeep approaching the town, going to get picked off by the Panzer Grenadiers. M4A1 is now engaging my Panzer II alongside the 57mm gun. And I've got to be careful with that Panzer II, honestly. I'm just trying to rush it at the moment with all of these half-tracks. I accidentally sent my mortar half-track forwards, which wasn't the plan, but I kind of just group selected all of these half-tracks like so, and sent them on an attack move order towards the half-track there just to try and get rid of it. But my Firefly does pick off another Sherman, which is a great job there. Over on this left side we're being pushed very, very hard. You should see the Panthers come in soon. But I'm just getting these Panzer Grenadiers up to this tree line so that if the tanks get any closer, they can use their Panzerfausts in order to destroy those. In the centre, M3HT coming very close to the Fallschirmjäger. Fallschirmjäger with that rocket, the Panzerfaust, able to kill off the H3 half-track, and will pin down the arm rifles and kill them off very quickly with the Fallschirmjäger and the MG34. So Panzer II still alive here, managed to escape from the AT weapon and is now helping destroy some of the half-tracks on the left side here. Fallschirmjäger pinning down the LMG rifles. Over on this left side, making a push into the factory. Got some attack move orders on these Panzer Grenadiers to get into these buildings whilst the half-tracks cover them. from the half tracks there. And here comes a new bunch of units, including my Panther D. So since I was getting so many points in this game, like I was basically playing the equivalent of 3 players' points, basically what ended up happening was I was just having, like I say, to make these task forces and then just bring them all out at once, because I was just finding that I was concentrating so much on different parts of the map. I would be floating like 500, 600 points, and then I would just like bring in a massive load of units, send them with attack orders to different parts of the map, and then just hope for the best, really. And also the alarms were really helpful in this to sort of show me where I was going to need reinforcements and so on, and I could preemptively bring them in. So VulcanHDGaming in the middle here, we're doing really, really well. Unfortunately, they get pinned down. I think I do eventually pull them back. We've got some Panzer Grenadiers here, though, in the hedgerow. They're going to be okay to help support us. My APC is still trying to probe in the centre, some of them getting destroyed. But we're doing okay. One of their Shermans gets a little too close to the Panzer Grenadiers and does get destroyed. And now I have a Panther D coming up this road, slowly creeping towards a poor M5A1 Stuart. We also have an SPW-231 here, recon car. And another Panther D moving up towards these half tracks to assist my Panzer Grenadiers. So we've managed to take control of the factory. I don't know how exactly I managed to do it so easily, but with the fire support from these half tracks, those machine guns do a lot of damage to infantry if they remain on target for long enough. You can see at last I'm actually running a lead. 54% territory in my possession, and that is giving me this +1, which is going to allow me to get a major victory in 25 minutes and 32 seconds. But I just need my Panther to actually get on target to this M5A1, and then I'll be groovy. In the middle, still pushing forwards with some of these half tracks. One of them's being completely annihilated here by the 50 cals and so on. I've got a Panther D now moving up in the centre, so I've got one on the right side of the factory, one on the left side of the factory, of the left side of the river here. I've got one in the centre, and I believe I brought up one on the right, since my both Fireflies did eventually get destroyed by enemy AT and enemy tanks. So there's a couple of AT weapons here. You got the actual AT gun, and then what I think was like an artillery gun which had APU capability and was just firing at my Panther D. That's okay, the Panther D does have 12 front armor, so it should be relatively okay trading with those AT guns if you can get line of sight. The LMG rifles are forced away from the VulcanHDGaming, which is funny, but the VulcanHDGaming sat slightly back now, so they can't be targeted by the fire support. Panther D now engaging an M4A1 in the centre. Poor little Sherman doesn't know what's going to hit him, especially considering a second Panther D is rolling up. Panzer Grenadier squad on the right side, attracting the attention of all of these tanks for us. And in the centre, some more ground being made as we clear up another armed rifle squad. Still making progress into the factory, and over on this left side, Panther D is now pushing forwards very, very hard onto the enemy. We managed to take out the AT emplacement on the left side here, which gave my Panther D's room to move up, and that was thanks to the Panzer Grenadiers there. And now some half tracks moving into the factory. Try and make a little move forwards in a second to try and take out that half track. The enemy were trying to use smoke onto my Panther D's to make them a lot less effective. It wasn't too bad. I just ended up moving this Panther D all the way to the right in the end to join the other two that I had in the centre. Now over on this right side, I'm bringing in BF-109s to strafe the ground where the enemy AT gun was. That's basically what I had planned. Now on this deck, I only have fighters, and they're just to like support us in the air against enemy air attacks, like enemy Typhoons and stuff with the AT rockets. But with these two BF-109s being in the air and a Thunderbolt coming along to try and hit my Panther D, gives them an excellent opportunity to shoot that Thunderbolt down, and just like that, we succeed. Goodbye Thunderbolt. It's now a small attack coming into the town on the right side, but we have such a dug-in defensive position here at the moment. We've got the infantry in all of the buildings, plus the half-tracks with extra reinforcing infantry there. In the centre, half-track is making some ground. This Panther D, though, going to be forced to fall back. I don't want to push it through the smoke and get hit by these two Shermans. So, yeah, I am going to have to be careful about that. Finally, I get this Panzer Grenadier squad forwards and take out that half-track. And now my Panther D is moving up on the left side in order to engage these M4A3 with the 75mm gun. So these are the slightly better versions of the normal Shermans with the 75mm guns, but still, they are going to struggle against them, especially once I get two Panthers on target. Going to force them to fall back. I have my 222 engaging an M4A3 in the centre. Pack 36 is having a field day, just sat there firing constant shells into the M4A3. Over on the right side, being pushed very, very hard still. Mortar coming in, the 60mm mortar, trying to kill off as many of my infantry as possible. But I am still bringing up the reinforcements, the Pioneer squads there, perfect for countering enemy infantry. Now I have this Panther D rolling over to the left side to support against the M5A1 and the M4A1. Just slowly moving these guys about though, reversing these two in the centre at the moment, just because I don't want this M4A1 to be able to sneak out from this tree line and pop one of my Panthers. That would be really, really bad. Now over here I'm trying to sneak forwards the Panzer Grenadiers onto the M4A3. And in the factory I'm actually having a little bit of an issue dealing with all of these ARM LMG rifles and ARM rifles and so on. What I can do is just bring up some reinforcements. So that's what I'm going to do. A couple of MG 42s. They're going to be stationed in a couple of these buildings to cover the factory properly. My couple of Panthers are still moving up the road on this right side, engaging the Shermans over here. So they have 3 Shermans engaging 2 of my Panthers. Unfortunately, due to the morale system, I am managing to keep them at bay, forcing them back. These Fallschirmjäger taking out another squad, this time of armed rifles, doing so well. So 3 Panther Ds here in the centre, just ruining enemy infantry squads and enemy tanks when they come into line of sight. These Panzer Grenadiers are left a little bit on their own there. We're okay. My command squad should be able to kill off the armed rifles there. Do have the reinforcements coming up anyway, just in case. The tank engagement still going on this left side. I believe we managed to pop one of the Shermans, but the other 2 being very stubborn and not dying very easily, even though we have 18 AP power. The shots that were landing weren't always like doing anything, and honestly a lot of the shots were just missing straight up anyway. They started to push me forwards, or just push me back a little bit in the centre. The half-tracks there, and also some of the Shermans managing to break through with the help of the armed rifles, but as soon as I pin them down with these Panther Ds, we can do a lot of damage. So starting to now engage another M4A3. What I was actually surprised is that I didn't see more jumbos at this point. It looked like the enemy team were just using a lot of these M4A3s, the 75mm guns, but they're just not really good enough to take care of Panthers. Because Panthers have 12 front armor and the M4A3s only have 11 AP. At least the jumbos, they have like 21 front armor, so even a Panther can't destroy them. Unfortunately, I do lose a Panther. I'm not entirely sure where that was. I think it was over on the left side, maybe. But that was just one of many Panthers to nearly get destroyed. But this is a very elite Panzer division. Got all of the Panthers at our disposal, and there was certainly no shortage throughout this game. BF-109 in the sky, and that's going to go straight for this lightning as it comes in for a bombing strike. Has plenty of time on target, but unfortunately gets hit by enemy flak and is forced to get out of there. Over on this right side, a Mustang is trying to take out one of my BF-109s, so I bring in a second to support it. And then as he changes his target, I even bring in a third BF-109 to help finish off the Mustang. Because I want full air superiority throughout this game. Otherwise, I'm pretty doomed. Like, if they get a lot of, like, AT planes, and they just, like, spam my Panthers, the Panthers will die eventually. Anyway, another push happening in the factory now. Got the half-tracks moving up with the Panzer Grenadiers. Another attack move being supported by the Panther D as well. I'm bringing over these BF-109s to try and take care of the 76mm gun. Do manage to kill one man on that AT gun. Basically means that a Panther with a direct hit could kill that in one shot, I believe. So now my Panther's making some ground on this right side. We got 3 Panthers here, supported by a BEF Panther, which is the command Panther. In the centre, I've got 3 Panthers, which are engaging many of these tanks. One of the Jumbos gets hit and blown up immediately because it gets hit in the side armour. And now there is a Calliope coming onto the factory. Fortunately, it doesn't hit too much, and there isn't much in the way of enemy infantry to push back onto us once all of our infantry was pinned down, so that was okay. Again, over on this left side, everything okay. Over here, we do manage to destroy the AT gun, bringing up some movement for my Panther Ds. In the centre, I believe we lost one of the Panthers to one of the 76mm AT guns. But everything was okay. I didn't want to move this Panther up too far forwards because I wasn't sure what was behind this tree line, and that would have been very risky to just like go round the tree line because whatever could have attacked me. But we are pinning down that LMG rifle squad. Then what I'm going to try and do is get some infantry into these tree lines so I can eventually move up my Panthers. Another Panther's going to go down in the centre due to the 76mm AT gun. I also lose my 222. Actually quite a big blow in the centre, but not too bad. We've made a lot of ground on this left side. I've managed to get Pioneer squads all the way up towards these buildings up here, which is great. It allows me to run forwards these Panzer Grenadiers into this tree line, supported by the half-track and the command infantry. I'm also managing to push forwards this Panther G quite far on the left side as well, and I've also managed to get some reinforcements into the factory. So all the Panthers that were over on the left are now driving over to the right side and the centre to support there, because I was really struggling in the centre. We did lose those 2 Panthers, and that was really unfortunate. You can see them burning here. But yeah, I brought up a Panzer IV command tank. We've got the Panther D there. It's moving over to join these 3 Panthers, and then what I was planning to do is sweep right across the map and hopefully sort that out. By the way, it managed to get rid of the 76mm gun on the right side thanks to my mortar. And now another air attack coming in. Every time that we do see the air attacks coming in, I do bring in the BF-109s. My natural response. Banky's going to be bringing in 2 P-39 or 38 Lightnings. I'm going to converge on them with all of the BF-109s that I have. But unfortunately for me, they do have plenty of AA, so I don't actually manage to shoot down either of the P-38s because I'm forced to fall back. Now a P-51 Mustang coming in to take care of my 109. We're going to engage it with our own 109. And unfortunately this takes a lot of damage, it's going to be forced away from there. So enemy recon destroyed, really good. Getting a lot of kills all over the place. Really hard to sort of keep track of the entire map, but as long as I have attack move orders, it's not too bad. You can see I'm already starting to bring in even more Panthers now, as we are on phase C. So the tank's slowly moving from left to right here. You can see the Panther D is now engaging another Sherman. And, well, plenty of reinforcing Panther Gs coming up, and these guys have 2-star veterancy. So now we're dealing with the big boys. They have 2-star veterancy thanks to this Panzer IV command tank, but still, it's going to be very useful. And we have 4 new units of Pioneers, I believe. They were just going to spread out in the middle so that I could get the line pushing forwards again, because we are sitting on this 51% to 49% lead, which has eventually pushed me over to 1,044 points. We did manage to shoot down the enemy Mustang there, which was great. And now we can see an M4A3 moving towards this tree line. Panzer Grenadier is going to get on target with the Panzerfaust, and boom goes the M4A3. So really nice kill on that left side. Didn't even need to have the Panthers there to deal with the enemy tanks. It was a little bit more of their mistake than my skill per se. Because when I was actually playing that game, I wasn't aware of that happening, but I managed to get rid of one of the P-38s there. Second BF-109 is coming in to try and shoot down another one, and I do manage to get a second one, which is fantastic. Trying to go for a third. Unfortunately, the BF-109 forced to fall back. So my half-tracks are into position now. I'm slowly sweeping my tanks from left to right still. Got one of these Panther Ds finally made it to the centre with another of Panther Ds that was already there. And a 4 providing the veterancy star so that we can kill out this command M5A1. And finally, we destroy that. Over on the right side, we're being pushed again. American half-tracks pushing onto my Panzer Grenadiers. But we are very dug in on this right side. It would need like a lot of artillery to dislodge that position. I do have 2 Panthers just sitting in the town. Actually, make that 3 sitting in the town, waiting to be useful. One of them was out of ammunition. I believe it got a weapon damage. But there we go. Dropped out the Pioneers. They're all going to run forwards, try and take positions in the tree lines and in the hedgerows. Enemy Air Force coming in again. You can see my Panther is providing fire support onto the enemy infantry here as I begin to try and take more compounds surrounding the factory. I'm just going for this sort of little farm area or like lumber area. We've got a Panzer Grenadier squad supported by the command infantry. And that should be enough to deal with the armed rifles and give us this compound and push the line even further in our favour, because currently we're on 57% over their 43. Over on this right side, just using the mortars to try and take care of some of the infantry, whilst my command infantry shoots at them. And seeing that there is almost a lack of infantry on this right side, I am going to start to bring in some more soon. But before I do that, I'm actually going to be bringing in Black 88s. But as it's phase C, I thought, you know, what I'm going to most likely see is anti-tank aircraft, the rocket pods on those Thunderbolts. It's the main thing that they might use to try and counter me, or just a lot of jumbos. And Black 88s actually counter both. Black 88s can kill tanks, and they can also force aircraft out of the sky because they make them fall back very, very quickly. Like 2 shots from a Flak 88 will cause a plane to fall back. So I've brought in a Flak 88 on the left, sort of in the left sort of center area, one in the center and one on the right, and I think I brought in a second one for the right side as well. And the idea was just to deploy these and yeah, have them be area of denial against enemy tanks and aircraft. So I shoot down another one of their aircraft there, another P-38 Lightning goes down. Still moving forward, some Panther Gs on the left side. Now, if you're ever going to do this, you really do need to have the infantry in these tree lines, because that's the only reason that I know I can move towards this Panther G. If I didn't have that Panzer Grenadier squad there, I wouldn't be doing this. That Panther G, though, is going to be forced to fall back. It is being overrun. Over on the right side, they're reinforcing with a Jumbo and an M4A3 with a 76mm. I managed to get these Pioneers into some really good positions here. They don't have any AT weapons, but again, just having them there is providing me with the front line pushing power. Also, I do of course have the Panther in the town here, so that was something that I was making use of. And I've also got now the Flak 88 moving up on the right side, so I do have AT. You see these Fallschirmjäger are actually still alive in the center here, and have been for the entire game. Same with these chaps. They stayed alive for the whole time. It was quite interesting actually. It kind of worked out, like my teammates came in with all of their like airborne stuff, and as the game went on, like the airborne or the SS-Panzer division caught up with the airborne and took control of the front line. Lots of Fallschirmjägers stayed back after doing their job. So yeah, either way, my Flak 88s are getting into position, and now I'm leading with a 64% territory gain. That's given me +2 for a major victory in 3 minutes. So we're doing extremely well now. Bringing over my Panther Gs across the rail bridge here. They're going to get bombed by the Lightning there. Going to bring in a couple more BF-109s to try and shoot that down so that can't happen again. Yeah, Panzer Grenadier pinning down an armed leader there. Any units that are trying to move across in the open here, like the arm LMGs here, they just get pinned down instantly. I've also got a Panther G moving very close. But yeah, my strategy, like after my teammates left, worked out really well. So I secured this right town, and then I focused more on the left, and then I managed to sweep across in the middle once I got access to all of these Panthers. And now you can see that we are still engaging with the enemy armor in the center. M4A3 with a 76mm gun, and Panther D taking out the 75mm gun. And even more tanks coming up. So Panther G, supported by the Panzer IV, going to be moving on up. Panther G on the right is helping out with the engineers. So yeah, everything went really, really well in this game. It was quite interesting to see that I could actually pull this back. I was really surprised that I managed to micro the entire map enough that I pulled this off, which made it a very, very awesome game to show to you guys. Panther G there finishing off that arm leader. I've got the 222 moving up as well to help out with that. Over on this left side, I did need more infantry at this point, and over on the right side too, really. So I am bringing up reinforcing infantry on the right, just so that they can't push me back at the last minute. And soon I'm going to need some more on the left. But as I was saying, you know, I was microing the whole entire map. Sometimes it was hard for me to keep track of everything that was going on. Fortunately, in a defensive position, like I managed to get myself into, especially on this left side, and also on the right side, makes it much easier to manage, because then you can just like micromanage one area of the map, which was the center at this point because of all my tanks being there, and then just sort of almost forget about the right and left side because your units look after themselves when they're in defensive positions. Here you can see the Thunderbolt was coming in for a rocket attack, but it got forced to fall back by these flak 88s, and I have 2 of them, or well, actually probably 4 of them, yeah, across the entire map. And yeah, they were just forcing planes out of the sky whenever they came in. So just continuing to engage their Shermans everywhere. But then again, we have Panthers. And just like that, after reaching the 2,000 points in 38 minutes, we win the battle 1 versus 3. And let's pop over to the team score, where you can see that I got 10,690 kills to 5,540 losses. So a 2-to-1 kill death, pretty much, and a 1 versus 3. I don't think I did too bad at all in this game. It was, like I said, I had a game plan. As soon as my teammates left, it was like, okay, so what do I do? Like, I can't micromanage every single unit separately, so I made, like I said, the little task forces, gave them attack move orders forwards, then just sort of checked on them every now and then to make sure that they were going in the right direction or doing the right thing. And that's basically how it worked out. Unfortunately, because of the units being relatively slow in Steel Division in comparison to Wargame, I was able to do that. And we managed to pull it off, which was fantastic. If we go into the kill list, you'll see some awesome kill scores. So the 58 or 38mm pack gun on the right side managed to get a lot of Jeep kills. Look at this Fallschirmjäger though. They got, what, 1, 2, 3 half-track kills. They got 1, 2, 3 arm rifles kills and LMG rifle kills. They got a recon. They got a 76mm gun. Then we got another Fallschirmjäger here, which killed 4 arm rifle squads. The Firefly managed to kill M4A1, M5A1, a Command M5A1, even a 57mm AT gun. And then the second Bow Firefly just killed a lot of half tracks and an M4A1. Then we get down to the Panther kill counts, which the M5A1s, M4A3s, and look at this one. We've got 2 M4A3s, one with 75, one with a 76mm gun, and an M4A1. This one got 4 tanks, M4A3s. Look at that, lovely jubbly, really nice kills all around. This BF Panther, look at that. That's where all of my points are coming from all of those tank kills. This Panther D getting himself a jumbo kill as well as 2 M4A3 kills. And what was fantastic was that all of the Panthers were doing well on their own. Like, yeah, there were some Panthers who didn't get loads of kills, but generally at each area of the map there was a Panther that was getting lots of kills, and that really made them cost efficient throughout the game and allowed me to gain such a lead that my micromanagement didn't actually matter too much. Either way, guys, that is it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. I didn't expect it to turn into a 1v3, but I'm almost glad it did because I managed to show off such an awesome game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll try and make the next one a live play. But in the meantime, that's all. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.